Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wild Moments brought to you by explore.org. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. They're not my dogs, but I would love to introduce you to them because they're miniature schnauzers. They're very cute. But if you do hear them, they're I can't tell them to keep quiet, unfortunately. Hey, Ali has arrived. Hey,
Everyone,
Ali.
sorry, I don't know what happened there, but I am here and I'm very excited to get started. Always lovely to see you, Trish. If not in the flesh, at
Oh,
least.
and you. And what's this I hear about you potentially being this side of the world?
Well, yes, I might be there not next week, the week after. So if you're still there, I shall be in touch. Yeah, you're not going to be
Ah,
there. I can already tell from your face.
no, I'm not going to be. But I suppose we've reached our quota for the year
Yeah,
already, so
we
it's
have,
okay.
sadly.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We are very excited to get on going with the show. Now, last week we had a very cool theme. It was Elephants at Eldon, your very specific theme. This week, I was about to say this year. This week, not a very specific theme, but still some very, very cool moments, which is why it's called Wild Moments. And of course, we're live and interactive, so please do send through questions and comments. We love to hear from all of you. Love to know how you're enjoying the show. Ali, anything in your cup for the show today?
I can show you. I am overachieving today. I've got green tea, which is a staple one, and water. Look at that. All the
Oh,
things.
my goodness.
I'm
Wow.
proud.
It's gonna be a wild show. I've got water. That's about it. It's
Well,
sparkling though.
ah,
Fancy.
my niece used to call it the spicy water, so at least there's that.
Oh, one of the kids in my family used to call it angry water.
Oh, well, you see, it can be many things.
It can be many things. Anyway, before we get stuck in, we have a whole lot of hellos coming through. All the usuals. Amber Co, you're waving hello and saying thank you to all of us. Thank you very much for joining us. Dear NC says hello from Seattle. Of course, you're ready with your coffee. And you're ready for some wild moments. Very nice. We are too. Casper's Third Ghost, you say happy Thursday, Trish and Ali, and all. You're enjoying a hot cup of ginger and lemon tea. You and Ali are matching, kind of. Thanks, Casper's Third Ghost. Bridget McKinney, you say hi, Trishana and Ali. Drink of choice over ice. Oh,
Wow.
nice one. Nice one, Bridget. Jack DeBoy, you say morning, guys. Morning, Jack. Thanks for joining us. Jan Power says hello, everyone. Hi, Trish and Ali. Hi, Jan.
Hello.
Um, MG Leopard Spot says, looking forward to the show. Ooh, iced water and a shot of iced espresso. People are,
Mhm.
oh,
What a
people's
step
got
of
it.
our game, Trish. Spicy
I
water
know.
is not gonna
I,
make it.
but I mean, we've been saying we need to step up our game for a long time, and it's just not happening.
There.
I mean, I
Don't bring
went
me
from,
into this.
you did step up your game. I will give you that. You have stepped up your game.
Thank you.
Uh, Kauru says, hi, Trishal and Ali. I've got a bowl of Cheerios with milk today. Very
I
nice.
imagined Cheetos. So I was like, oh wow. I was like, Cheetos. But no, then I remember Cheerios is a cereal, so never mind.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting combination.
Mhm.
But glad to hear that you're enjoying your Cheerios and milk today, Karu. Jean Gale says, hello, friends. Gray and windy here in Seattle, but you've got hot coffee, toasted cherry bread from the local bakery, and sleepy dogs. What is toasted cherry bread?
I don't know, but sounds delicious.
It does. I have not, I need to try that. Maybe you could bake that for us sometime, Ali. Ali is a great baker, everybody.
Sure. Send me a recipe if you can, please, Jean Gale, and I will try to make Trishala happy for the one time a year I see her. Maybe this will get me time too.
Oh, thanks, Jean Gale. Please send that over to the Africam chat. Thank you very much. April Alls, you say good morning from foggy Connecticut. You're happy to be here with raspberry iced tea and apple fritters. Okay, we need to really step this up. Andy says happy International Day of Happiness. Is it?
I did.
I'm sending you all happiness. I don't know how else to do it
Okay,
except
well, we're also sending you
make
some
this.
fish. I feel like a
Yeah,
fish. you know?
Okay, and then I'm collecting it as well. Oh, awesome. Thanks for letting us know, Andy. That's really nice. And can you see our smiles just got bigger and our energy just got brighter? Thank you very much. And Mr. H UAE 87, you say today was Frog and Sparrow Day as well. Frogs,
Right.
sparrows, and happiness. Sounds delightful. And Mindy, you say you're working and lurking today. Oh, I like that combination. And and forgot to disable the chat. Don't we just live for the days when Mindy's work doesn't disable the chat? It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's great. Anyway,
Drink
let's
that.
jump straight. Happiness for you, Mindy. Let's jump straight into the first clip and let's head over to Aldonio and have a look at one of the nighttime creatures on the hunt.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, that was very quick.
Okay. I was not expecting such action. Is it a frog?
Yeah, it's a frog.
Okay. Sorry, I just,
Interesting.
well, sure.
I can't ever say I've seen a white-tailed mongoose eat a frog. I mean, to be honest, I can't say I've seen one near a waterhole in person.
Wait, want to frog going around? Oh, what is that? Oh, it's
Oh,
a second
wait,
one.
also with a frog.
It's a baby.
Oh, it's a baby. Oh, I thought I saw two babies for a moment there.
Oh, oh, they look so much like birds in the dark, don't they?
Yeah, it looks very much like an opossum.
Yeah. Well, I think size-wise, at least for the opossums that live in South America, white-tailed mongoose and opossum are roughly the same size. I would still say that a white-tailed mongoose is slightly bigger. I don't know with possums that live in Australia where you might have experience, Trish. Maybe those ones are supersized.
Oh no. The opossums we get in Australia are not supersized. The opossums that you get in the Americas are are pretty substantial compared
Okay,
to the ones we get in Australia.
I'll
But they
certainly
have the
agree.
same kind of cute face. I don't know if other people think it's cute, but I certainly do.
I mean, 100% a ferret face, no?
Yes, exactly. Oh,
I saw it smiling. International
yes.
Happiness Day. Oh, that's great.
And
This is
happiness
such a fun thing.
is food a lot of the time. So,
An
is this the same
international,
frog?
it must be. Just from a
Do
different
you think
angle.
that do you think that maybe the adult is trying to get the youngster to get involved in the whole kind of hunting process? Oh, Gus says no, it's lots of different frogs.
Oh, so it was harvesting. Well done. Well done. Maybe it's got more than a
Oh,
youngster. I'm not aware of them actually, collecting food and placing it somewhere for later consumption. So my guess would be that there are other, or she potentially had two youngsters that she fed, and then maybe this one is for you, Mama Mongoose.
I've also never heard of them caching food at
Yeah.
all. But I suppose if there is, I mean, we heard the frogs, right? So maybe there are a ton of them in there and it's just a resource that is available. Because I've definitely seen animals take more than they need when there's a surplus. And
Mhm.
they don't often eat all of it, but it does happen. And I think it's kind of it must be some kind of instinctual behavior. There's so much around. Um, what do I do? I just take it, just keep hunting, or just keep grabbing them.
Yeah, just eat it. I mean, if it had like, because they'll generally have two. So my guess is that, one for each one, and then seeing we heard a lot of frogs there. So because there are so many, be like, okay, I'm gonna overfeed you now. So eat all of this, and then I will eat mine. Could be, a time of plenty and enjoy everyone type of scenario.
Exactly. For Happiness Day, right?
Why not?
I mean, also, at least what we saw, there must have been, I think there were 4 occasions that she grabbed frogs. And if you think about that's not a bounty. I mean, it may be in their circumstance, but 1 frog for each youngster and 2 for her, or 2 for each youngster is not that much, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, no. I think they would probably eat a lot more.
Yeah. But I mean, that was really cool to watch. I've never seen them do that. I've never seen a frog dangling from a mongoose's mouth. And that
Mm.
goes for other mongoose as well.
Hold on, you really is a place of wonders.
It is. So Kirst wanted to know, could they have a nest in the logs behind the camera? I mean, they're certainly coming very close to the camera to get to wherever they need to.
I mean,
Which that kind of tells me something's happening behind the camera, but I don't know. They don't necessarily have a nest, do they?
circumstantial burrow or denning area, like, because like if they were there, if they were nesting permanently, we would have seen them in the camera a lot more. If they were like when a lion or a leopard is bound to a den, then they return and you see them constantly. Whereas, I mean, as far as I'm aware, we see them fairly often. So certainly the water hole is part of their general home range, but I do not think that's that they have a set area. Maybe just for a couple of nights and then they moved on to the next thing. A lot of mongoose do that. They have a lot of different dens where they go, especially dwarf mongoose and banded mongoose. You'll see them often that they'll have one here and then they move up there and then they stay there for a couple of nights and then they stay here and then they just rotate through all of them, like
And
magnets.
and that kind of makes sense, right? Because if you're staying in one den constantly, then that means that that's going to start to smell like you, so it can be attractive to anything that doesn't like you or wants to eat you. So it's a safety thing as well. You keep rotating the dens. It's like, opening your cupboards and airing out your clothes every now and then in the cupboard you hardly use. So keeping that rotation going also means in a way that you get to survey your territory a little bit better as well. You're spending a
Yeah.
night at this outpost and a night at that outpost. Um, and I think that it could even be that just for today, they decided to eat behind the camera. But I don't know, Kirst, is this taken over several days? Because that would be interesting. But I think that you're right, Ali.
But also, like another important consideration is animals won't necessarily be right in water proximity because, like, water is life, yes, but water is also danger for a lot of animals because you let your guard down. So if they catch something, they're going to try and get it and eat it away from the water hole itself or a little bit further away for safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And because water holes are attracting, they're not just giving you something nice, they're attracting a whole lot of animals that even if they're not going to eat you, they might still kill you. So Kirst said this was all in the same day and they do see them often. Interesting. And I wonder, have you seen these youngsters grow? Because that would be also very cool. Kaoru says, so cute. They are very cute. I don't know what it is about the little babies, but their face looks different and also looks cuter than the adult. Very sweet. Okay, on to the next clip. Now, this I think is quite an exciting one. Okay, so Kirst said they haven't seen the small ones. So yeah, I think you're right, Ellie. It's like all mongoose and just moving around different areas within their territory. And it happens to be that they buy the camera. So this next clip, I can say that I have not met this leopard, even though I have really, really wanted to, but I've not met this leopard. But luckily, we're going to head over to Nkoro so all of you can meet him, even though it's virtual.
There's always an angry blacksmith, isn't there?
Always. So this is Mzemba. Have you met him, Ali?
Not in the flesh, no. I've heard all sorts of stories about him, but I have not, like you, I haven't seen him with my own eyes.
Yeah. And the reason why we we know about him and we're keen to meet him is because he is potentially the son of Hosanna. Now, I don't know if Panthera DNA analysis has proved whether he is Hasana's son?
I don't
Not
think,
yet.
not yet anyway, as far as I know. But he looks very full. I mean, look at that full belly. No wonder he's drinking that much water. He must have been eating something big. Sneaky leopard.
And I know he has been seen. Oh, yes, that is a huge belly, huh?
Mhm.
He just got frightened by the massive lapwing.
Oh, I'm so
I would
sorry.
love to see his face.
Oh, look at that. Scent marking. Oh, fancy big leopard. Or
I
maybe
mean,
just, I
this
mean, the
is
blacksmith lapwings, what he thinks of them too,
a bit of both.
potentially.
But this is interesting. I'm not sure if Mzemba has. I mean, he should have a territory by now, right?
I am not
But
aware. I think I don't know. I mean, if he's sort of marking there, he's part of his territory must encompass this area, and he's probably about 3 or 4 now. So I mean, he's at an age where he's probably gonna start marking his territory, if not more. I'm not aware. I think the easiest thing would be for us to actually go check on the Panthera reports, but I have not received any in the last while, actually, so I'm not sure.
because he is the first time he was on the property or on a property where I could see him, but I didn't get to see him. He was sort of like, eastern boundary. And then he showed up a little bit like Chitwa and Koro side.
Well, he's come from a lot further east from there. So like where he was seen on Ottawa, which is just like east of that entire Northern Sands block. So in terms of leopard movement, he hasn't moved a huge distance. Like if you were able to like draw a straight line, but he's definitely not in the area where he was born into.
And this particular area, I mean, there are other male leopards in that area already, right? But I think that whole area is still it's a little bit of Mawati. And then I know there's the airfield male that used to be around in Koro as well. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yep. I'm not sure if he's still around there, but Kest says that they've actually seen on this cam the Airsfield male and Mulwati. So
Popular
a
waterhole.
tough place to be.
I think it's tricky for us because like the Ankoro camp sits in a place where it's just in the outskirt of a lot of things that we know and we can see. So obviously it's got Buffelshoek in the north, which there's nothing there that we can see. So we just rely on updates from, word of mouth and stuff. Then there is the actual camp, and then we can see everything. Then obviously south of Ankoro, then we would find, or east, like we will find Malamala and stuff like that. But then all of the eastern side is Kruger. So and it's just like the boundaries right there. It's really not far. Like he was walking straight back to Kruger. So it's hard to know because also in Kruger, in that particular area, it's such a huge block and there's not a lot of citizen science coming out of there. So it's really hard to actually know how far into that block he extends. I like it when
Yeah.
they keep it mysterious.
I do like it too.
Oh, it's just like, where are you going? Who are you visiting? Where are you staying?
Yeah. Are you just sauntering over here because you can, or you want to put down roots here? What's going on? I like it. Bridget McKinney, you say Hosanna's son. Yes, we hope that it is. Well, it's not confirmed through Panthera reports, but it's very likely based on who was mating with who at the time and when he was born and all that sort of thing. Zygote, you say, wow, Goofball's son? Yes, it is Goofball's son. And then Bridget, you're also letting us know that he is a 3-3, just like Hosanna as well. And then you also told us that James saw him 2 years ago. Yep, it was sort of like Eastern boundary when James saw him, and I didn't get to. But hopefully I will get to see him someday. For those of you who don't know, Hosanna was a very famous leopard that was indeed a goofball, very much a goofball. Uh, you know, back when I was training, we used to be left to babysit some animals, especially if we had certain shows and we tracked them or whatever in the day, then you lot would send us out to babysit them. I'm grouping you.
Hmm.
And I had to babysit Hosanna. So keep in mind that this was I had never seen a leopard before gone into the Sabi Sand, right? So I'm 3 months into figuring out that I'm okay in the bush, I understand animals a little bit now. And then they made me babysit Hosanna in an open vehicle by myself. And he was so used to the vehicle that he just kept coming closer. I'm not even moving the vehicle. And then he sits right by, where we don't have a door. He just sits there and looks up at me, just not doing anything, not sniffing, just looking at me. Of course, I got a little bit scared. I banged the side of the vehicle and I reversed out of there and I watched him with my binoculars.
Be like, it's too close, leopard. Pull away.
Please, I do want to see you, but I mean, not close up like this. You're like 1 meter from my foot.
Fair enough. Then that's a bit close for a tad too close to comfort for anyone. And probably a good thing because like we like them to be habituated, but not that habituated. And this is a
Yeah.
very long debate. I'm not going to open that can of worms, but well done, Trish.
I think, even if you are a guide and this is something that you do, there comes a point where you feel that this is not okay. And I think it's important to be true to that feeling. And that's going to be different for different people. But as soon as you feel that that's not okay, and I don't mean safety, but I mean, ooh, you're questioning yourself. You're questioning whether that's to go. Stay true to it because it's those types of uh, blurry moments where you have the opportunity to just go with your gut and take it. And I don't think that he would have ever done anything to any of us, and he was super used to the camp, but that doesn't mean it's okay to encourage him because
And
no,
it also, he wouldn't have done anything in at that particular time at that age. The issue is that a lot of these leopards then they get older, they get hungry, they get beaten up by other males, and then things start getting a lot complicated. So very much like humans, we all change. Even animals, their characters, they can all change throughout their lifetimes due to all of the circumstances that they find themselves in, which
yeah,
is I think,
absolutely.
something important to remember.
And I think you can feel that. And when you feel something, just safe
Just bang on the side
option
of the car and
always.
then just reverse and move
But
your
he was indeed. Yeah, this is I set it out for you. I've given you the formula.
well done. Well done.
That whole leopard lineage, I have such wonderful and weird memories. So many things. But anyway, very, very cool sighting. If you aren't sure who Hosanna is, go and do a little Google search. You're gonna come up with a lot of information, and then you'll also know why Ali didn't feel like opening the can of worms at this particular time. But important discussions to be had. Anyway, let us move on to our next clip and head over to Hwanghae Safari Lodge and have a look at some cuteness. Okay, this is already cute.
It's just something about tiny baby elephants is too much.
It's also like, imagine you had a giant long nose and you decided the place to put it would be in your sibling's butt.
I mean, why not? Maybe it's just trying to pull the other one's tail.
I think it said no to you there, Ali.
Alrighty, sorry.
I love how the sibling is just like carrying on eating.
Yeah, it's just like a annoying little creature. That is very
Oh,
cute and also very sneaky.
this
But
it's
yeah.
So like humans, right? You have siblings and someone's trying to take your ice cream or push you around. I specifically said take your ice cream because I used to eat my ice cream very quickly, and then my brother used to eat it very slowly, so I'd eat mine quickly and then ask him for his ice cream.
Okay, so we're gonna call the little elephant Trishala. I mean, it's very feisty.
Mm.
And there's the mother there. It's just, oh wow.
Oh,
There's a lot of back leg happening there, little one.
siblings just like, hey, I have elephant business to attend to.
Yeah. It's interesting because it looks like a little boy just from the shape of the head. And you know how did you see how he was trying to push the other one with its head? Like, when they do when they use their tusks. Oh,
Absolutely. And
so
you know, we
back
were
out of
having
town.
this, oh, yep,
Well,
just from behavior. We were having this discussion, I think it was on Tuesday, and I was asked if different different sexes, so males and females, do they behave differently as youngsters? And one of the examples I gave is that with elephants and actually quite a few mammals, I feel you really can't tell when it's a young male.
yeah, you
Just
can.
from
I
behavior.
agree. There's just an attitude. There's just something there that you're just like, yeah, I can see it. It's there.
Well, we were talking specifically about risky behavior and taking risks and how as adult males they're involved in more risky behavior in a lot of animals, not all. And so from the time they're young, it's almost like an instinctual thing to push. And I find with young female elephants, they're I mean, yes, they're still having fun, but they tend to be a lot less boisterous. Young males, they just go for it, as we
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah, it's just like there's a bit of bullying going on. It's just like, give me your food, I'm going to take it from your mouth. And individual personalities also come at play. Some of them, like, they're not, they won't all be the same, but it's funny when they are.
In fact, now that you say that, I remember seeing this very young calf. Okay, he wasn't very young. He was probably about 6 months, so still pretty small. And usually at 6 months they're getting used to their trunk, but they don't have proper full control over it, right? But this young little calf, and it was a male, it was almost like he had come from boarding school. He was so quiet, reserved, quietly eating, using his trunk to curl around the grasses. He was not successful in pulling off grasses all the time, but when he was just like, oh, I'm like a little boy, I'm like an adult. I imagined him as, the little boy who wears a suit to a wedding, like a toddler.
Yeah.
That's how this elephant looked. So definitely personality comes in as well.
And yeah,
Um,
this one was just on the definitely not boarding school side, more as in like people have to be sent off to boarding school.
Yeah, this one was not wearing pants and was running around the wedding.
Yeah,
That's this one.
100% interrupting the wedding. That's this child. This part,
Uh,
sorry.
MG Leopard Spots, you say, oh my God, I love baby Ellies. They are the best. And Amber Co, you say, you love this Ellie calf. So curious and so full of fun. It is, and that's the best therapy, I think, watching some elephants, especially if you can get a nice calf. Well, we have a minute left, so how about we jump into our last clip and head back over to Aldonio. And I think we're looking at an owl versus a elephant. There we go. Sorry. There we go. Ooh, rosy glow. Very nice.
I think it's funny how Aldonio has been the playground for elephants to bully all sorts of creatures lately.
Yeah. This elephant's going straight for you, owl.
It's just like, I don't like
Okay,
it here.
never mind.
Basement behavior. I'm going to pretend that your presence doesn't bother me. But also, is that elephant injured? Or is it just certain body parts that are hanging. I can't tell. Nope, never
Oh,
mind.
there is a body part that's hanging, but I think it's meant to be there.
Yeah, that's fine. It was hanging at a funny angle. I couldn't tell.
I don't know what to expect from elephants in Aldonio anymore. I'm like holding my
You
breath.
know, I was kind of expecting water splashing to be like, off you go, bye. But this is typical displacement behavior for an elephant. Like I'm gonna do everything while I pretend that I don't until I get tired of it, and then I kind of touch the owl. Why is the owl not flying?
That is a good question.
Oh, my goodness.
Get out of here. Why are you on the ground? Why aren't you flying?
I mean, that was something. The owl was just like, no, just stop it. I'm not going anymore.
I am surprised though that the owl didn't just fly. But I suppose in terms of owls, that's a big dude too, you know. So maybe there's a certain amount of I don't know, ego involved
Yeah,
or
or
thinking
just like, it'll get over itself and then just leave me alone.
yeah.
I don't know where this owl is mentally, but I feel like definitely not there.
I think ego is the wrong word, but you understand what I mean. I think e ego is a very human thing, but machismo, if that is better.
It's just like, okay, fine, off you go. I'm gonna stay here anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You want the water hole? I get the water hole too. Shared resource. Um, the elephants in Aldonio have really been giving us some of the greatest clips. The one that we had last week still lives in my head.
No, it was too funny. Like, and that poor buffalo. I wonder, like, Chris, please let us know if the buffalo is around again because it's too funny. The elephant and the buffalo is a great thing.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to stick around until next week to find out what happens with the elephant and the buffalo if they interact again. I won't see you next week or the week after. I have exciting times. I'm going to Albania and then to Germany to do some work. But not wildlife. Well, I suppose indirectly wildlife, but more about plastic pollution and all that kind of stuff. So I will catch you on the flippity flip. So 2 weeks time. But until then, I will leave you in the capable hands of everyone else here at Africam. And thank you very much, Ellie. Will we see you next week?
No, sadly, no. I think also I'm going to be on the flippity side with you in a couple of weeks' time because I'm going to Kenya for the next bit. So I'm excited about that.
Very nice. You can tell us all about your adventures when you come back.
I will be looking for elephants everywhere. Don't you worry.
Nice. You should go to El Doño.
Oh my God, I love to.
I do too. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Ellie. I hope that I will be able to see you somewhere in between with my cherry bread.
Yeah, a girl can dream. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody, and thank you.